Okay, so we are going to be talking about multiplying and dividing one-step equations today. So when you solve, or when solving equations can also be, I'm sorry, solving equations can also involve multiplication and division. But the same rules apply. So again, we're starting with that same key. So the big tall block equals x, the light one equals 1, and the dark one equals a negative 1. All right, so for this equation, we have three x's, so we know we're going to do 3x, and then our solution, or 3x equals 12. All right, so obviously, you could do this a couple of different ways. You can group it into threes. You can group it into fours. I can't see that one. All right, so essentially 3 times x, x is going to equal 4. And to check that, you would plug it in and do, well, 3 times 4 equals 12, so you know you are correct. All right, so solving one-step equations, you're going to, so the variable must be alone or isolated, just like it is when we're adding or subtracting. Isolate the variable by using inverse or opposite, and isolated means alone. The equation must remain balanced, and you want to check your work. All right, so we're going to look at these and then we're going to solve them. So for this one, we have two big boxes, so we're going to have 2x equals how many? Equals 6. All right, and we're going to say, well, we know that x equals 3 because we can make two boxes of 3. Now to check to make sure, we're going to substitute in our 3 for x, and we're going to do 2 times 3 equals 6. We know that's true. So, all right, looking at the next one, we have 4x equals 2. So we're going to have 4x equals 2. Excuse me. All right, so for this one, this is multiplication, so we know we're going to actually have to do the opposite of that, which is divide. Excuse me. So when we do that, we're going to end up with x equals half. And to check that, we're going to plug it in. So 4 times half equals 4 over 1 times 1 over 2. 4 over 2 equals 2. All right, so that is how you go about checking, so multiplication and division. All right, slide over here. It says use the model below to write an equation and then solve it. So with this one, we're using the model, and you'll notice that it's 92 for the total. And then how many of these small things do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8t. All right? So 8t equals 92. So how do we go about solving this? We have to divide, because this is multiplication. So I'm going to divide by 8, divide by 8. I can't do 92 divided by 8 in my head, so I'm going to do 92 divided by 8. It goes in one time. That goes in, again, one time. It's going to give me 4, add a 0. 8 times 5 is going to give me 40. So essentially my answer is $11.40 is what t equals. Now how do you think you check with multiplication? We're going to go ahead and plug that back in, and we're going to do 1150 times 8, 0, 0, carry my 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 2. And then 8 times 1 plus 1 is 92. We have two decimals, 1, 2. So this equals 92. So I know that I did it correctly. So there is a little bit more work that goes into solving these problems, but not a ton. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to do a couple. All right, so looking at the first one, we have 3x equals 12. So there's multiplication going on in this problem, so we're going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So now I want to check to make sure, so I'm going to do 3 times 4 equals 12, and we should agree with that. All right, looking at the next one, we have x divided by 2. That little line is not a fraction because there is a variable in it, equals 28. So I got to multiply by 2 to cancel, multiply by 2. So 28 times 2, that's going to give me 56. Now I have to do, I have to plug that number in and see if it actually works. So 56 divided by 2, that gives me 28. So therefore, I know that I am correct. All right, I'm going to skip down and I'm going to do number 5 because that's another division because we've done a lot of multiplication ones. So I'm going to do another division one for you. So this one is x divided by 4 equals 12. All right, so if we're doing the opposite of division, we got to multiply. So we're going to multiply that by 4 and that cancels. And then we're going to do 4 times 12, and 4 times 12 equals 48. Again, I'm going to plug that in. So 48 divided by 4, and that will give me 12, and I know that I'm correct. So you guys are going to have to do 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then for your summary today, I want you to say, I feel that. Good. Multiplication and division is easier than addition or subtraction, or is harder? And just explain to me and tell me why you feel like they're harder, or they might even be the same for you. Not necessarily hard, not necessarily easy. You're going to finish this. You have 2 assignments on Canvas that you're going to have to complete, and you're going to have to submit those before you can get your homework today. If you have any questions, send me an email, and I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can tomorrow, but I will definitely be back on Thursday. All right, guys, I will see you later.